out our first guest, the car coach, Lauren Fix, helping you have safe travels no matter what the season or the weather.
So everyone's thinking about packing up their car and going. And I said, well, before you just jump in your car and go, which is what we're all thinking about, our vehicle's been sitting, it doesn't need anything. Well, you might be wrong. You got to check the battery first. If your vehicle's having trouble starting, you haven't driven it in a while, make sure you get your battery checked. If you don't know what you're doing, that's okay. A mechanic can do it, or pretty much any auto parts store will do it for free. Other things you need to check besides that is your fluids. There are 9 fluids in a car, and if you've got an electric vehicle, don't let anyone tell you, oh, there's no fluids, there's no maintenance. Yeah, no, you still have tires touching the ground, and they need to check that tire pressure once a month. And then anytime you hear a squeak or a noise or something in any vehicle that just doesn't sound right, find a technician to help you.
We love Lauren Fix, and she's back with us again today.
Yes, indeed. Thanks so much for being such a friend of the show. Of course, many are looking for that summer getaway, so we want to get the rundown on some of the things and the best practices for us.
Yeah, let's start with gas mileage.
Okay.
Oh, no, go.
To be on the show again. I was going to say 1 year. Wow, that's fantastic.
I know. And Lauren, with all the talk about gas prices, we want to get the best possible gas mileage. So can you help?
Right. There's a lot of things you can do. First off, obviously, check your tire pressure, which I was just talking about. If you do that once a month, you can save between 1 and 2 miles to get a gallon. Because remember, no matter whether you're driving a little Mini Cooper, which I'll be driving this weekend, we'll talk about that in a second, or a gigantic truck, that will be something that will impact your fuel economy because there's only 4 tires that touch the ground. So if it's proper tire pressure, that number inside your driver's door, that correct tire pressure will give you the most life out of tires, because tires are more expensive as well. There's also a shortage of tires, and you'll get better performance, better handling in the rain, better braking. All that is good for you and your safety. But the other things you can do are things that people don't think about. And that's, besides, of course, taking care of your car and that check engine light, there's a lot of apps you can download. And now I figured out ways you can stack them to save even additional money rather than just one app and have to log it into another app. You can put rewards points in and make it to your advantage.
And Lauren, to follow up on the tire pressure, is there a better time to check that tire after it's been sitting for a while or after you've driven? When's the best time to actually check the tire pressure?
Fabulous question. Actually, you want to check it in the morning when the tires are cold. I prefer a dial or a digital tire pressure gauge to get accurate readings. Once you start driving it, the roadway has friction. And so as the tire rubs against the roadway as you drive to a gas station or drive around and do your errands, you create frictional heat, and that will change the pressure. I won't get technical on you, but that's as far as I'll go on that. But the fact is, you want to check it in the morning when it's cold, and it really makes a difference.
Interesting. Now, how does the heat affect our car's performance? Does it matter what time of day we drive? Is it better to drive when, the sun is not, at its highest point?
Well, maybe it's a little bit of old school in there, because it used to be turbochargers loved running when the cars were cooler, because there was intercoolers. And again, I won't get technical, but in reality, if you're driving, one thing you want to check before you depart is find your favorite ASE certified technician, unless you have the skills yourself, and make sure that air is blowing cool on you. But also you want to check your coolant, because you want the engine running cool, because if it's not running cool, that's the people you see on the side of the road and you go, oh, they're having a really bad day. And you don't want that to be you and your family, because it's also very unsafe on the side of the road.
Yeah, so true. Of course, we know the dangers of hot cars on people, the kids, the pets. But can just the car itself there being out in the sun and heat be damaging to the cars?
Sure, it can. We're going to be talking about this at another point, but the sun will damage not just the paint, it'll damage the dash. It can also make the interior of your vehicle. We've talked about this before, and we've done packages for you that you're still running for years, which I appreciate. The inside of a car can get to be over 181 degrees. So when you get in the vehicle, don't assume I'm just going to jump in the vehicle. Even with cloth seats and touch that steering wheel, you could get burned. So that's where a beach blanket is great. Put it over the seats, especially if you've got children and child safety seats. You don't want to burn their skin. They have very delicate skin. And so you want to make sure that you put a blanket somehow over that until you get back. Then take the blanket off of child safety seats. You don't want anything between your child and that seat itself.
Yeah, Lauren Fix, great advice. We love having you on the show. Appreciate everything that you've been able to share with us. And, we're going to have you back because we have a lot more questions. Alex drives an electric vehicle. So,
yes.
Yes. Plenty to talk about.
Yes, would love to get your thoughts on electric vehicles and some of the best practices with those as well. So, of course, friend of the show, we'll have Lauren Fix back, no doubt about it.